Ready to level up? In this project, we're creating a daily checklist and discovering the power of HTML lists. First, let's create a folder on our computer. Then we'll open up Visual Studio Code and open up that folder we just created. Then we create a new file for our project and name it index.html. We start off with our basic HTML structure. This is what we've learned in our first project. In the head section, we're going to have a title element and name it our project's name, My Daily Checklist. In our body section, we will start off with an h1 element and open up our project in the browser using our live server extension. Let's add a p element to our web page and give it some context. Let's save our web page with the very important shortcut key we've learned. Ctrl S for Windows and Command S for our Mac users. There are two main types of lists in HTML: ordered lists and unordered lists. In ordered lists, the list items will be marked with numbers by default, and unordered lists with bullet points. As a bonus, this is called a description list, but it is not commonly used. Description list is used to define a term, almost like a definition of something. Let's get coding and see how this code looks like. I'm going to divide my daily checklist into 3 sections: morning, afternoon, and evening. Let's add a h3 heading. This will be our morning heading. Now we need an ordered list. An ordered list starts with an OL tag. We always remember to have an opening and a closing tag. Inside our opening and closing tags, we're going to add our list items. Each list item starts with an LI tag. So every morning I want to wake up early, exercise, and have a good breakfast. So what if you wanted a sublist underneath your list? This is what we call a nested list. Let's use the unordered list for this. Note that our unordered list is within an ordered list. This creates a sublist. You can create as many sublists as you want, as long as it's nested within an ordered list or an unordered list. So my goals are to wake up early, go for an exercise or a walk, and have a healthy breakfast. So this will be my morning checklist. Now let's jump into my afternoon checklist. Here we will do the same as we did with our morning checklist. We're going to start off with an ordered list. For me, I only have work scheduled for the afternoons. I would like to check my emails and respond to emails. I would like to get my top 3 work priorities done as soon as possible. And I would also like to be able to plan my top 3 work priorities for tomorrow. Notice that all our ordered lists start with numbers. And this is not always what we want. We can change this with an HTML styles attribute. The styles attribute uses CSS property and a CSS value. We will learn more about CSS in the upcoming videos. For this project, we don't want the numbers, so we can change the value to none. For our unordered lists, let's change our circles to squares. We can do this by changing the value to square. I think this looks nice. Now for our evening plans. If we want to get better at coding, we are going to have to practice every day. Let's add practice coding to our list and of course have fun. Let's remove our numbers from our ordered list by adding the styles attribute. You can practice coding by watching first line of code videos. If these videos are helpful, please consider subscribing. I like to have fun by playing a game or watching a movie. Now let's change our circles to squares by adding the styles attribute to our unordered lists. Our daily checklist won't be a checklist if we can't check anything off our list. For this, we will need an HTML input element. There are many types of inputs, but for this project, we are looking for the type checkbox. Feel free to play around with the input element on where you would like to have your checkboxes. We can add checkboxes to all our sublist items. Go ahead and add checkboxes to the morning and afternoon sections. Also remove the numbers in the morning section and also change the circles to squares. Our daily checklist can look and function so much better with CSS and JavaScript. But since we are still working towards that, we can save our project for now, and as we progress through the 30 progressive projects, we can revisit this project and make it work and look better. The goal for this video is to learn how HTML lists work.